YouTube family, what is up? So in this video, I want to talk about, does wholesaling work during a recession? And the reason why this topic was being brought up, it's because I got a DM from someone that said, hey, Khang, I'm afraid to get into the game because, wholesaling doesn't work during a recession. I'm afraid that, if the economy gets worse, right, like you can't wholesale anymore. So let me try to answer these questions. And I think that sometimes it's the lack of it's the fear and because of lack of knowledge. You're afraid because you don't have the knowledge. Lack of knowledge makes you afraid to get into the game, and that's the reason why I think it kills a lot of people's dreams. The fear and lack of knowledge. It's the lack of knowledge that makes you afraid. Because if you know what's going to happen, like if you know the outcome, then you wouldn't be afraid to pull the trigger to do what it is that you want to do. Am I right or am I wrong? So let me explain to you something, okay? So he's afraid that wholesaling doesn't work anymore because the economy is getting bad. Now, I can tell you this, man, things are getting a little bit tougher. People are a little bit more tight with their money. That I can tell you that, okay? But wholesaling, man, always work. And let me explain to you. Dude, when the market crashed, that's even the best time to get into wholesaling. And I will explain my point of view, and then you can debate on this, okay? But wholesaling has been recession-proof. It works in any market because you know why? Because we're the middleman. That's all it is. So check this out. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, okay? Let's just say that a car. Let's just say that there's a car that you want to buy. That's a picture of the car. Let's just say there's a car that you want to buy that used to cost $50,000. Okay? And now all of a sudden, bam, the market crashed and the car's worth now, they're selling it for $25,000. And it's the car that you've been wanting and you got the cash. You're telling me that you're not going to buy a car that used to cost $50,000 to buy, now costing you only $25,000? You tell me that you wouldn't buy it. Well, dude, if you don't buy it, someone else would totally buy this because it's a deal. Everybody wants a deal, man, right? So I'm telling you, what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter what market we're in, whether it's up, whether it's down, whether it's plateau, sideways, zigzag, going straight down, it doesn't matter. There's always will be an investor, dude, that got the money sitting there waiting for opportunities. There will always be buyer regardless of the market, right? Because always be someone that wants a deal, man. So our goal as a wholesaler is we're just a middleman. So if the property's worth $100,000, we need to get under contract at a 30 to 40% discount, right? So we can wholesale to an investor. So if the property's worth $100,000, and if we can get under $50,000, you don't think someone would buy for $60,000? That's a $40,000 equity, right? Property worth $100,000, they can buy for $60,000. You telling me that they won't buy it? Come on, man. Shit, bro. You might not have any money right now, but dude, there's 8 billion people on planet Earth. Dude, there are also people coming from China, man, other country that pour their money into the U.S. economy, right? So which means I'm telling you, there's hedge fund, BlackRock, whatever it is, dude, big guys that are just waiting for, like they're buying every single year. But when the market crashed, dude, they buy even more. So it's the lack of knowledge, man. So when you know where to find these buyers and you have a deal, there will always be people that's ready to pull the trigger and ready to buy. Like, for example, Lon and I right now, right, there are some states that we've been eyeballing that we want to buy a vacation home or an Airbnb, right? And we're waiting for opportunity, dude. We got the cash. We're just sitting on it. And we're waiting for that opportunity to come. And then, bam, we're going to go in and buy it. So even though you think, oh, I don't have the money, I'm this and that, so everybody else don't, dude. All right, think again. There are people sitting on cash waiting for opportunities. So see, back in 2008, 2009, and let me tell you why when the market crashed, there's much more opportunity to wholesale. You see, when the market's going up, everybody wants to list their property. Agree or disagree? When the market's going up, man, everybody wants to rather list their house with an agent because they know that they can get more. But when the economy is in a recession, dude, people can't afford to pay their bills, right? Those who overspend can't pay their bills. They can't pay their mortgage. Guess what? Dude, now we got a lot more pre-foreclosure. But we need to know how to find these people, right? Dude, there's going to be pre-foreclosure. Dude, there's going to be a lot of tax delinquents, man. Right? People can't pay their bill. People don't have $20,000, $30,000 to fix up their property. Guess what? Now there's going to be a lot more distressed property, dude. Right? There's going to be a lot more distressed property, which means there's a lot more opportunity for us as a wholesaler. So which means to get them to come down 50%, 60% for market value, easy. Because there's much more distress. Because the economy is getting squeezed. Right? And then on the other hand, you got buyers that have been sitting on the sideline, man. They're happy. They're waiting for this opportunity. So when you get a property that's worth $100,000 and they can buy for $60K, bro, all day long, dude, they will be printing money just to buy all of that you got. You just need to know where to find these people. That's all. So he was afraid to jump into the game, man, because of lack of knowledge. He doesn't know what I know. He doesn't know what some of you know. Because when you know, dude, that you can wholesale in any market, because all we are is we're just a middleman. That's all it is. Right? So when the property is worth, once again, $100,000, we just get it lower and then we flip it to an investor. And there will always be buyer. So don't worry about the recession, man. Right? And a lot of you right now, what you should be worried about is this, though. Here's what you should be worried about. Okay? Let me tell you what you should be worried about. Okay, and let me explain it to you so a lot of you need to understand this. Let me show you, man. I mean, do you guys agree or don't or not agree? Okay, comment in and let me know. What you should be worried about is, dude, right now, bro, your JO to B is on the line. And I would say for a lot of you, your JOB is on the line right now. Because you can wake up one day and bam, that company goes out of business, or they're contracting, right? Because they're pulling back. So they start to cut their overhead. Dude, your JOB is on the line. So if I were you, dude, you need to figure something that you can bring in some income on the side right now. Which means, dude, you better have plan B. You better have plan B. Because when all of a sudden, when one day you go into work, and it will happen, and they'll be like, dude, we're cutting people. You'll be like, okay, no problem, dude. I've been wholesaling. Dude, so now you get your plan B already rocking and rolling. And I tell people, dude, the average wholesale deal is 20 to 25K. The average. That's like the average. So typically it's about 10%, right, of the purchase price. So if the average wholesale deal is between 20 to 25K, what if you just do one of those a month, man? Let's just say $20,000 a pop. That's $240,000 a year. And one deal a month is not that hard. And if the market goes into recession, dude, it's going to be even better. More opportunity. That's all it is. And a lot of you be like, well, one deal a month is hard. Well, what if you just do 25K every 3 months? Dude, that's still $100,000. But now you get the skill that you can depend on. And it's recession proof. You got a skill that now you can go in any city, any market, and you can flip a house, flip a contract, and make 25K, let's just say every 3 months. That's still 6-figure a year. All right? So I think the reason why a lot of people are afraid to get into, so let me tell you, okay, number one is those of you who have a JO to B, I highly recommend that you need to figure out something you want to do on the side, man. You better start learning that skill. Start building that business. Whatever it is. It doesn't have to be wholesaling, right? Whatever it is you want to do, but you need to get this thing going, okay? That's going to be your plan B. If this thing goes out, you still got this to depend on. And that's why in 08, 09, 010, a lot of people, dude, lose their house. One is because they're buying a house that they can't afford. Bank would loan it to everybody. Plus, dude, they depend all their life on this because they thought it was safe. They thought it was secure. They're like, hey, I've been working there for X amount of year. Dude, it doesn't matter, man. Right? When it's time, they will let you go. And people get shocked. So when they lose this, they lost everything. They lost the house, they lost the car, they lost everything. And I don't think that's and then some of you, man, it takes for you to lose everything to like, dude, to wake the F up and say, dude, it's time for me to build my own business. It's time for me to control my own destiny, control my own income. So I'm saying, why put yourself there when you already need to start doing it today? You know, there's a saying that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. And I want to comment on one more thing about that cat, right? He was saying that, but you haven't even done anything. He hasn't even pulled the trigger. He hasn't even took the action. But he's afraid of all of this thing is going to happen. And you're sitting there, you're seeing people closing deals after deals. You're seeing people doing deals, not just me, but other people that I brought on and interview my students. One of my students just closed his first deal for $25,000. Driving around for dollars, drive for dollars. And so you're seeing all these people doing deals, and you're sitting here, I don't, man, I'm afraid because, you know, when the market crashes, what's going to happen? What if it, you know, but you haven't even got into the game. You're just sitting there talking shit. That's why I say, dude, a lot of you, dude, you need to stop the talking, stop the thinking. You overthink when you haven't even made a move. Come on, man, shit. Let me share with you one more person that needs to worry about when it comes to recession, which means, you know, the real estate market crash, etc. One more person needs to worry. It's this guy, cat. Okay? Dude, this is extremely important, okay? Here's another person that needs to understand this. If you are a fixer and flipper, man, if you fix and flip, fixer or fix and flip, if you fix and flip houses, you need to learn how to wholesale. You need to add this skill to your toolbox. Number one is you're not going to be able to buy every single deal. Okay? So why pass on those opportunities? That used to be me. When I first got into real estate 12 years ago, I started out as a fix and flipper. I buy property, fix it up, rehab it, and then relist it on the market. Typically takes me about from start to finish 6 months on average, 6 months to make my money back. Versus now that I wholesale, dude, I can close that thing, dude, in 15 days, in 7 days, and made $20K. No headache, no risk. I don't have to deal with the city, the contractor, babysitting, relisting the property, none of that. So the house flipper, man, dude, some of them are getting crushed because one, they over leverage. They don't have enough reserve. All right. They don't have enough reserve. So when the market make a switch, dude, a lot of them getting freaking crushed. They're getting the pants freaking pulled down, man, and exposed. Imagine if you fix and flip and you add wholesaling to your toolbox. So as you're trying to finish up some of the rehab you got, and you can't buy any more, and instead of turning them down and say no, let's just say a realtor brought you a deal and you'd be like, hey, dude, I can't fix and flip anymore, dude. I'm tap out. I got no more capital. I can't leverage anymore. Dude, why don't you lock it up on a contract, right? And call your buddy up and say, hey, John, dude, you looking for another property to flip, man? I got a good one here. Lock it. So instead of passing it on to him and not make a profit, dude, lock it on a contract. Call your buddy up. Call your buddy John, and John is doing exactly what you're doing. Dude, sell that deal to John and make a quick 20K. So as you're finishing up your rehab project, you're still making active income every single month. And this is the one thing that I wish when I first started, someone would explain this to me, and I would have, right? So, okay, the next person that I see that also need to add wholesaling to their toolbox is the landlord. The one that actually just buy rental property. All they do is they get, they took their money from wherever it is, man. They J-O the B, and they just start buying rental property. Or those landlords who just, just buy rental. Dude, why don't you add wholesaling to it? So let's just say that now you're making $10,000 a month from your passive income. It wouldn't be bad, man, if you can just wholesale one house and make another $20,000 a month. So my whole thing, dude, is like, A lot of you need to understand, you know, and now you can take this 20K and then you can go buy more real estate, or it helps you now that you got your active income making you a lot. It also helps you to pay down your rentals if that's what you wanted to do. And if you want to buy more rental demand, the bank's going to look at, dude, your income as well, right? So I think landlord, fix and flipper, dude, those of you got a JV, wholesaling, man, it's a great way. It's really no risk if you do it right. Because once you put on a contract, that contract give you equitable interest. It give you, 30 days or 60 days to find a buyer. And if you can't find anybody to buy it, you can just, bam, call the seller up, cancel the contract, back out, walk away. So I don't see why you wouldn't add wholesaling to your skills, man. And imagine if you're able to go out there and find your own deals. For those of you, find your own deals. Wholesaling is like the basic, like the entry level. And when you know how to wholesale, dude, bro, the best thing about wholesaling is you know how to find deals. And that is a skill that the house flipper wish they would have had, the landlord wish they would have had, because some of them don't know how to find these. I also want to answer one more question, okay? And we're going to wrap this up. So I got someone that asked, and they ask me this all the time, and I get this question, I would say quite often, is they said, well, Khang, why don't the house flipper, why don't the investor, go straight to the seller and do the deal instead of going through us? Because there's some house flipper, man, investor who flip houses, all right? They don't have the time. They're too busy rehabbing their project, man. I've done it. Dude, I was waking up at 5 in the morning and my day was not over until 10 p.m. at night. I was still texting my contractor, getting them ready for the next day, stage, right, of the rehab. Some of them don't have the time, okay? Some of them, dude, don't want to do it. Some of them don't want to do it. Like, they don't want to go out there, find their own deals and negotiate with the seller and all of this. They rather just buy it from a wholesaler. Okay? So they don't have the time. They don't want to do it. That's it. So the house flipper, majority of them, dude, actually don't know. So majority of them rely on wholesaler and realtor to bring them their deal. Majority of the house flipper, dude, they rely on the wholesaler and the realtor. And I'm telling you, dude, if you want to flip houses, and you got the money, the capital, it's really not that hard to buy a deal. It's not that hard to buy a deal. You know what's hard though? What's hard is the construction part, man. Dealing with the city, dealing with the contractor. That is the hardest part. Okay? But if you want to get into fix and flip, you got the capital, it's really not that hard, dude. There's a bunch of deals out there that you can buy. All right? But the hardest part about fix and flip is, I already told you, okay? And a lot of you will be like, well, Khang, if I'm starting out, if I am new into the game, should I wholesale? Should I fix and flip? Should I buy rental property? Here's what I think that you should do. If you're new into the game, I think you just need to focus on wholesaling. And I'm not just saying that because I'm doing it. Dude, I'm saying that because I've done it. I've done the fix and flip. Okay? The mistake where I see new investor make, is, you know what they do? Some of them will go in and they start buying rental property. And then they tying up all their cash, dude, and they have no active income. They're still stuck at the J-O to B, and they start buying rental property. And that rental will pay them $250 a month. And they got $100,000 tied up into this property, where they could have used it to build their business and make $100,000 a month. But they're doing it backward. They're doing it all wrong. Here's what you need to do, man. When you're starting out and you have very little money, you need to focus on your active income. You need to wholesale. Okay? Get that active income come up. And if you want to fix and flip, dude, cherry pick. You can cherry pick. That's the key. Dude, that's a key when you become a wholesaler. because you know how to find deals. And when you got so many deals, you can cherry pick. And if you got a lot of capital, and if you want to cherry pick the one that you want to fix and flip, just do the one that's easy, cosmetic, that you're in and you're out and make a quick buck. If that's what you want to do. And then you can also cherry pick which one you want to keep as a long-term rental. But it all comes down to, dude, is you need to focus on your active income first before you think about your passive income. That's number one. And when you're new into the game, honestly, dude, wholesaling is probably the best place to start. Because when you're new into the game, there's a lot of things you got to learn, right? And there's a lot of things you don't know. And let's just say you get into the game and you start as a fix and flipper. You start buying property, fix it. Dude, you're just taking on a lot of risk. So for example, in my area, if you just want to buy a house and flip it, you're talking about at least $300,000. So whether you're getting this $300K from a private lender or a Harmony lender, you got to come up with that $300,000 regardless, okay? Hold on a second. Let me jump on live on Instagram really quick too, man. Why not? Hold on a second. Okay. This is so important. I think people need to understand this. Okay. So let me flip the camera around. Okay. Okay, so you got the 300,000. You're starting out, dude. Once again, whether you're getting private or Harmony, you got to come up with the 300,000, and then you probably got to come up with another $50,000 to rehab the property. Okay, so now you're freaking locked in for $350,000. And sometimes you think, hey, you know what? And it's probably going to take you probably 3 months or so to rehab the property. After that, dude, you're going to list it with an agent. It's going to take you another 2 to 3 months to actually close on it. So you're all in. So you're in there, dude, for about 6 months. Okay? But now you're locked in for $350,000. Just one little mistake. That's why if you're a house flipper, if you buy, fix, and flip houses, dude, you need to be on top of your number. On top of your number. And you need to have a good crew. A good contractor that can get in and get out. Because I tell you right now, dude, I did the whole fix and flip for 4.5 years. My project has never done on time, and it always goes over. Always goes over budget. There was a rehab where I thought I was going to make $50K, bro. I ended up making like $15K. And it took me 6 months. I could have made $15,000, bro, in like a week if I would just wholesale the deal. So imagine, dude, look at that. $350,000 just to flip one house. Imagine if you want to scale that fix and flip business. 2 house, dude, almost $1 million. 3 house, dude, if you're in New York and California, 1 house, you could be locked, you could be freaking tied up for $1 million. That is a lot of risk that you're taking on. So I don't suggest the whole fix and flip game. If you're new, I just keep it simple. Now all I do is I wholesale. And then if I want to keep something, I just take my active income, my wholesaling, and then bam, buy rental property. Keep it simple, tax write-off. It's a way for me to park my money. So in the next 10 to 15 years, I take the 400 G's instead of paying Uncle Sam, bam, I put into my my rental. 10, 15 years later, that 400K turned to 800,000. It's a way to hedge against inflation. And it's a tax write-off for me. And I keep it simple. You see, simple business is it's making you money. But a lot of you, it's when things get complicated, that's when you lose money. Too many moving parts. You got contractors, cities, permit, material. Like when you have a lot of moving part, man, you will lose money. It's almost absolutely guaranteed. That's why the business that are boring, they got the system, the team, and it's just boring. And you're like, oh man, this is just getting boring. I want to do something else. And that's when you're starting to lose money. Right? So when you keep things simple, it's boring, but you know that you're making money. Okay? Okay, I think that's everything that I want to talk. Oh, I do want to talk about one more thing. Sorry, one more thing. Okay? One more thing. So I just saw this on TikTok or on Instagram. And I can tell you, dude, give this guy a very, very bad, really, really bad advice. And this is why it's important who you listen to. There's so many BS. There's so many people on social media that are putting out content. Some of them have never done the business. and they read a book, they listened to someone, and then they create a video talking about that shit when they haven't even done it. And then all of a sudden you watch it, you'll be like, oh, because you don't know any better. You'll be like, oh, that makes sense. It doesn't make sense. Let me explain to you. This guy, dude, give this such bad advice. So this guy called in and he said, hey, I got $12,000 in my bank. And he's like, hey, how do I buy property with this $12,000? Dude, if you get $12,000 in the bank, bro, you're broke, dude. Brokey. You're broke, dude. 12 G's, dude, ain't gonna do you shit. But he wants, dude, he got 12,000 and he's like, hey, how can I start buying some property with that? You're broke, bro. And he's still stuck at the J-O to B. All right? He broke, dude. You're broke, bro. So you're telling me you're broke, but you want to start buying real estate. Makes absolutely no sense. So this guy gave him the advice and said, hey, you can take that 12 G's, man. You can do what's called a DSCR loan, and you can start buying Section 8 property. Come on, man. Shit. He broke, dude. He broke. You're telling a brokey to start buying real estate. What happened if he bought that piece of real estate? So he took his $12,000, he bought that property. Let's just say he did exactly what the cat told him to do. That property dude pays him $250 a month. Now he got no money in the bank. He got $0 in the bank. Still stuck at the J or the B, living paycheck to paycheck, right? Brokey. Went and freaking listened to that cat and bought a piece of real estate. That real estate gives him $250 a month. And then all of a sudden, what happened? What happened, dude, if, bam, let's just say that the furnace goes out. Now the furnace is going to cost you $5K to fix it. Where are you going to get that money? Where are you going to get that money, dude? You're making $3,000 a month from your J-O to B. Even $5,000 a month from your J-O to B. Where are you going to get that money? After taxes, after you pay Uncle Sam, after all expenses? Where? Two biggest mistake. And this is why there's tired landlord. Do you guys listen to what I'm saying? This is why typically we target the mom and pop. We don't target big company. We target the mom and pop, and this is the mom and pop situation. They bought a few property. They don't hire a property manager because they don't have a lot of active income. They want to squeeze, right, as much as they can from this rental, but you can only squeeze so much. That's why we target the mom and pop. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's the mom and pop that has a few rental property, right, and they retire, right, stuck at the J or the B. They don't, like, their active income has been capped. And all of a sudden some repair comes up, or the renter moves out, and the renter moves out, destroy the property. Now it's going to cost them $20,000 to rehab the property. They got no money. They don't have the $20K to rehab it. That's why we target them. And they're like distressed. They're tired of the renter. Renter hasn't been paid. Destroy the property. I don't got $20K to fix it up, man. I only make $5,000 a month from my J-O to B. What makes you think I have $20K? That's why now they're willing to sell it at a discount. But for me, you target me, dude. My renter, I can care less if all my property goes vacant. Seriously. I want you guys to really understand this, dude. Because, dude, let's just say when you make $100,000 a month, let's just say when you make $100,000 a month, do you care if the renter moves out and you have to come in and put $20,000 in rehab? You don't care, man. Obviously, you don't want to, but you don't care. You're making $100,000 a month. All this to you is, dude, is tax. By the end of the year, you'll be like, yep, I'm going to claim that $20,000 that I just spent rehabbing the property on my income, reduce my taxes. For you, it'd be like, yeah, dude, win-win. Right? You don't care, dude. This piece of real estate is for you to park your money to hedge against inflation, and it's a tax write-off for you. And if you get cash flow from it, great. You don't really give an F. I'm telling you, this is how the rich people think when they buy real estate. If your active income is so much, you don't even care about the baby money. You don't care about the cash flow, to be honest with you. The cash flow only gets really good when you start to own let's just say, 10, 20, 50, 100 property, but majority of them have to be paid off or paid down where you owe very little and your cash flow can bring you, 20K a month or so. That is when it gets good. But how can you own so many property and have them pay off within, let's just say 5 to 10 years if you work at a job? How does that even make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Shit, I need to get a new bottle. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So if you make very little money, how can you buy a lot of rentals and have them pay down and pay off? You can't. And that's why I say long-term. If you want to buy rental, it's literally, man, it's a 15 to 20-year game plan. It is. So that's why I say if you want to get rich today, you only need to focus on one thing, man. It's wholesale. Once you got your wholesale business in place, then you can start thinking about diversify and buy rental property because of the tax benefit. So the guy, the cat who gave him the advice on what to do with the 12,000 was ridiculous. If you call me and you say, "Khang, I got 12K, I want to buy rental property," you know what I would say? What are you thinking, bro? What's in your head right now? Who's been feeding you this shit? Who's been feeding you saying that you got 12,000, you're ready to buy investment property? And by the way, the DSCR loan only work on investment property, okay? And for those of you who don't know what a DSCR loan is, that the bank doesn't care about your tax return, right? They don't care about your tax return. They don't care about so they don't go off your income or your tax return, your W-2 or your tax return. They go off is how much this property here generates in cash, rent, okay? But dude, if you get 12K, you call me, I'll be like, dude, are you stupid, bro? I would seriously say, dude, are you dumb, dude? Because the only way for you to turn this 12K into 120K and into $1 million, bro, within, I would say, let's just say 3 to 5 years. Let's just say 3 to 5 years. Dude, sometimes if you want to turn this 12K into 12,000 a month, bro, you can do it within 1 year. And that is through active income. Either wholesaling or building another business. It's the only way, dude, is through building a business. It's the only way that you can turn this 12K into 12K a month within 1 year. 1 year. You cannot do that by taking the 12K and buy rental property and make 12K a month in 1 year. You cannot. So how do you guys, how does that guy even give this guy an advice? Baloney. Baloney, dude. All right, Instagram family, let me see if you guys got any questions. I'm going to answer a few questions and then we're going to call this a wrap. Okay? And by the way, you cannot get rich by working at a job. That's all I got to say. My ultimate goal is to help those of you who are just sick and tired of it and you want to escape it, become financially free, have your own business where you can control your own schedule, your own time, your own destiny. It's the only way. And a lot of you, man, you're afraid to bet on, you rather take the money you got, go put on black or blue. You rather go gamble with it instead of betting on yourself. Some of you do, you're afraid to bet on yourself. Because you know why? Lack of confidence, lack of knowledge, lack of belief, lack of self-belief. Dude, why would you bet on black and blue and not on yourself? So whoever it is, just DM me because he wants to get into my Wholesale to Million Academy. But he's afraid, right? He's afraid, Khang, if I spend this amount to invest into your coaching, but what if the market, recessions and wholesaling doesn't work? Doesn't that mean I lose money? Lack of knowledge, dude. Dude, if you have the work ethic and you have the commitment and the determination to succeed and you're coachable, the best investment that you can ever make is into yourself. Take that baby money, dude, and invest it in here. Because that's the only way that you can guarantee a return. Nothing else, dude. Nothing is guaranteed. But when you bank on yourself, bro, you know that you're going to make it. Okay. I think that's all the questions. That's all the time that I got. I appreciate each and every single one of you that is here with me. Instagram, if you want to work, if you like Khang, I watched the video. I've tried this on my own. I still can't seem to do I still can't seem to close my first deal. Or hey, how can I close 1 or 2 deals a year and scale up to like one deal a month, whether you're new or you're experienced? But you need the hands-on coaching, the support, the guidance, the tool, the training, and the resource to help you get there. If you're on Instagram, comment the word mentorship. I'll send you the link to my coaching. And if you're on YouTube, all you need to do, and once again, this is not for everybody. It's for those of you who say, Khang, I'm willing to better myself, and I need that coaching. Go to coachwithkhang.com, fill out the application, book a call with my team. They'll get on the phone. They'll explain to you exactly what everything is included and making sure that you are a good fit. And I can tell you right now, if you don't have the work ethic, the commitment, then you probably shouldn't invest in yourself. Because this is not a try to get lucky, okay? This is not a get rich quick. This is a skill set where you need to build your own business, and it takes time. So if you want to come and work with me, I can tell you, dude, the 5 months or the 1 year that we're going to spend together, it's going to be the 5 months that you have never, ever worked before. Like, I'm going to put you to work like you have never worked before. So if you don't have that work ethic, then it's not for you. But in return, you're going to make more money than you have ever made before. And I'm going to help you build a skill set that you can depend on regardless of who's the president, regardless of what the market condition is in. You now have the power to become a money printing machine. Because once you know how to do it, it's all about rinse and repeat. That's all it is. Okay? I appreciate each and every single one of you that are here with me. Thank you so much, Instagram. Thank you so much, YouTube. Until next time, you guys take care. And let's go get this money. I'm out.